Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, August 15th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the weekend's Major League Baseball, NFL preseason, Major League Soccer, WNBA, and Little League World Series regional games, and look ahead to today's games in each sport. We'll go over the results from the FedEx St. Jude Championship. We'll go over the weekend's NASCAR races from Richmond. We'll go over the news and notes and my best bet of the day. We'll start with Major League Baseball. We'll go over the games from the weekend and look ahead to today's slate. We'll start Friday. Braves over the Marlins 4-3. Pods over the Nats 10-5. Guardians over the Blue Jays 8-0. Orioles over the Rays 10-3. White Sox over the Tigers 2-0. Red Sox over the Yankees 3-2 and 10 on a walk-off single by Tommy Pham. Phillies over the Mets 2-1 and 10. Mariners over the Rangers 6-2. Dodgers over the Royals 8-3. Astros over the A's 7-5. Cards over the Brewers 3-1. Rockies over the Diamondbacks 5-3. Twins over the Angels 4-0. And the Giants over the Pirates 5-3. So I just realized there's Juan Soto back in DC already. Saturday. Doubleheader game 1. Braves over the Marlins 5-2. Blue Jays over the Guardians 2-1. Rays over the Orioles 8-2. Cubs over the Reds 7-2. Nats over the Padres 4-3. Doubleheader game 2. Braves over the Marlins 6-2. White Sox over the Tigers 6-4. Dodgers over the Royals 13-3. Astros over the Athletics 8-0. Mets over the Phillies 1-0. Brewers over the Cardinals 3-2 and 10. Yanks over the Red Sox 3-2. Rangers over the Mariners 7-4. D-backs over the Rockies 6-0, Giants over the Pirates 2-0, and the Angels over the Twins 5-3 and 11 on a 2-run walk-off shot by Taylor Ward. Sunday, Padres over the Nationals 6-0. The Padres are 65-52. Washington 38-78. Guardians over the Blue Jays 7-2. Guardians 61-53. Toronto 61-52. Braves over the Marlins 3-1. Braves 70-46. Miami 50-65. Rays over the Orioles 4-1. Rays 60-53. Baltimore 59-55. Reds over the Cubs 8-5. The Reds 45-68. Cubs 47-66. Mets over the Phillies 6-0. Mets 75-40. Philly 63-51. Tigers lose to the White Sox 5-3. White Sox 59-56. Detroit 43-73. Royals over the Dodgers 4-0 as the Dodgers' 12-game winning streak came to an end. Casey 48-68, Dodgers 79-34. Astros over the Athletics 6-3. The Astros 75-41, Oakland 41-74. Cardinals over the Brewers 6-3. The Cardinals 63-51, Milwaukee 61-52. Rangers over the Mariners 5-3. Rangers 51-63. Seattle 62-54. D-backs over the Rockies 7-4. D-backs 53-61. Colorado 51-66. Giants over the Padres 8-7 on a walk-off 2-run home run by Thairo Estrada. Giants are 57-57. Pittsburgh 45-70. Angels over the Twins 4-2. Angels 51-64. Minnesota 58-55. And the Red Sox shut out the Yankees 3-0. Boston 57-59. And Yankees 72-43. All right, now we look ahead to the games for today. 3 o'clock makeup game from July 17th between the Tigers and the Guardians. Drew Hutchinson and Aaron Savali. The Guardians are definitely favored in this game. They are minus 215. Detroit's plus 180. Over under 8, minus 110 each way. Tigers plus 1/2 is minus 118. Guardians minus 1/2 is minus 102. I'm going to go with the Tigers run line plus 1/2 at minus 118. They're 40.4 to win according to ESPN Analytics. 6:30 doubleheader game 2 between the Tigers and the Guardians. We have Brian Garcia and Xavier Curry making his debut for the Guardians. Guardians minus 215. Tigers plus 180. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Tigers plus 1/2 is minus 114. Guardians minus 1/2 is minus 105. I'm going to lay in a minus 105 with the Guardians this time. Although the unknown with the pitcher. There's just the numbers say there's value. Phillies Reds. Noah Syndergaard and Mike Minor. Phillies minus 188, Reds plus 158, over under 9, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Phillies minus 1/2 is minus 118, Reds plus 1/2 is minus 102. I'm going with the Reds run line, plus 1/2 at minus 102. They're 45.5 to win according to ESPN Analytics. I just don't have the balls to pick them outright. Padres Marlins. Joe Musgrove and Sandy Alcantara. That's a terrific pitching matchup. Padres minus 134, Marlins plus 114, over under 6.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Padres minus 1/2 is plus 132, Marlins plus 1/2 is minus 160. I'm taking the Marlins at plus 114. They're 51% according to ESPN Analytics, and they're plus 114. Sandy Alcantara's going to win the NL Cy Young. He's been terrific. Cubs Nationals. Marcus Stroman and Josiah Gray. Cubs minus 142, Nats plus 120, over under 8, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Cubs minus 1/2 is plus 120, Nats plus 1/2 is minus 144. For this one, I'm going to go with over 8 at a juice number of minus 118. Rays Yankees. We don't know who's going for Tampa, and Garrett Cole's going for the Yankees. The line's not out yet. For when we know, a good pick would be the under, because the Yankees offense is struggling and they have their ace on the mound who I think is motivated to pitch a great game. If the total's anything above 7, I would take the under. Orioles Blue Jays, Kyle Bradish and Yusei Kikuchi. Blue Jays minus 156, Orioles plus 132, over under 9.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Orioles plus 1/2 is minus 146. Blue Jays minus 1/2 is plus 122. I'm going with the over. That's a no-brainer for me. 720 Mets Braves. Big ones here for the Braves to get back in this NL East race. Carlos Carrasco and Spencer Strider. The Braves are minus 146. The Mets are plus 124. Over under 8. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Mets plus 1/2 is minus 156. Braves minus 1/2 is plus 150. I like the under in this game. Under 8, minus 104. 7:30, Royals Twins. Chris Bubic and Joe Ryan. Twins minus 198, Royals plus 166, over under 8, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Royals plus 1/2 is minus 118, Twins minus 1/2 is minus 102. For this game, I'm going to go with under 4.5 first half total runs. This is I know Chris Bubic stinks, but Minnesota's been sliding and Joe Ryan's the ace. It's like the Yankees-Rays strategy a little bit. 8 o'clock, you have the A's at the Rangers. James Caprillion and Glenn Otto. Rangers minus 162, A's plus 136, over under 8.5, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Oakland plus 1/2 is minus 150. Rangers minus 1/2 is plus 125. Over. Fox Sports 1, Astros White Sox. Jose Urquidy and Johnny Cueto. Astros minus 130. White Sox plus 110. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Astros minus 1/2 is plus 126. White Sox plus 1/2 is minus 152. I love Chicago at plus 110. Johnny Cueto has been terrific. Dodgers Brewers. Julio Urias and Freddie Peralta. Dodgers minus 172, Brewers plus 144, over under 7.5, overs minus 115. Minus 112, unders minus 108. Dodgers minus 1/2 is even money. Brewers plus 1/2 is minus 122. For this one, I like the over in case a bullpen implodes. 9:30, Mariners Angels. Luis Castillo and Shohei Ohtani. Terrific pitching matchup. Mariners minus 104, Angels minus 112, over under 7, overs even money, unders minus 122. Mariners minus 1/2 is plus 164, Angels plus 1/2 is minus 200. Angels favorite on the money line, Mariners favorite on the run line. I think the Angels at minus 112 is a steal. They're 57.3 to win according to ESPN Analytics. Vegas knows, baby. And at 9:45, you have the D-backs at the Giants. Madison Bumgarner back in San Francisco against Alex Cobb. Giants minus 188. D-backs plus 158, over under 8, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 132. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 110. I'm going over 8 at minus 104. All right, now move on to the NFL preseason. We will discuss the results from the weekend and look ahead. Actually, no, we won't look ahead because there's no preseason games until Thursday. Or Wednesday, my bad. No, Thursday. All right, Friday preseason. Falcons over the Lions 27-23. Atlanta 1-0, Detroit 0-1. The preseason, Desmond Ridder, 10 for 22, 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. And David Blau, 18 of 28, 141 yards. Browns over the Jaguars 24-13. Joshua Dobbs, 10 of 13, 108 yards and a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence, 6 of 12, 95 yards and a touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 1 for 5 for 7 yards. Cardinals over the Bengals, 36-23. Trace McSorley, 13 of 22, 163 yards and a touchdown. And Jake Browning threw for 190 yards, 13 of 24. Jets over the Eagles, 24-21. Zach Wilson came out with an apparent knee injury, 3 for 5, 23 yards and an interception. Mike White, 10 of 20, 98 yards. Gardner Minshew, 8 of 12, 81 yards. Jalen Hurts, 6 of 6, 80 yards and a touchdown. 49ers over the Packers, 28-21. Trey Lance, 4 of 5, 92 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Love, 13 of 24, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Saturday, Bears over the Chiefs, 19-14. Justin Fields, 4 of 7, 48 yards. Patrick Mahomes, 6 of 7, 60 yards and a touchdown. So a lot of the regular starting quarterbacks played this weekend. That surprises me. Panthers over the Commanders, 23-21. Baker Mayfield, 4 of 7, 45 yards. Sam Darnold, 2 for 3, 16 yards and a touchdown. Carson Wentz, 10 of 13, 74 yards. And Taylor Heineke, 4 of 9, 21 yards and a pick. And Sam Howell, we'll get to him, 9 of 16, 145 yards. Bills over the Colts, 27-24. Matt Barkley, 18 of 24, 224 yards and a pick. Case Keenum, 11 of 18, 86 yards and 2 picks. Matt Ryan, 6 of 10, 58 yards. Nick Foles, 7 of 11, 72 yards, a touchdown, and the pick. Steelers over the Seahawks, 34-25. Kenny Pickett, 13 of 25, or 13 of 15, 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mason Rudolph, 9 of 15, 93 yards and a touchdown. Mitch Trubisky, 4 of 7, 63 yards and a touchdown. So all the Steeler quarterbacks looked pretty good. And then Drew Lock, 11 of 15, 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. Geno Smith, 10 of 15, 101 yards. Dolphins over the Buccaneers, 26-24. Skylar Thompson played the whole game, 20 of 28, 218 yards and a touchdown. That's what John Gruden used to do with Nate Peterman with the Raiders. Kyle Trask, 25 of 33, 258 yards, a touchdown, the pick. And Blaine Gabbert, 5 of 5, 56 yards and a touchdown. Texans over the Saints, 13-17. Davis Mills, 3 of 3, 14 yards. And Jeff Driscoll, 16 of 23, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns and 3 picks. Andy Dalton, 5 of 5, 51 yards and a touchdown. Ian Book, 15 of 22, 121 yards and a pick. Broncos over the Cowboys, 17-7. Josh Johnson, 16 of 23, 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Brett Rypien, 8 of 18, 113 yards. Ben DiNucci, 9 of 16, 112 yards and a touchdown. And Cooper Rush, 12 of 20, 84 yards and an interception. Rams over the Chargers, 29-22. A lot of people, I know it's a preseason, but a lot of people think that this could be the Super Bowl. Playing the whole game, Bryce Perkins, 10 of 17, 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. And on the other side, Easton Stick, 16 of 23, 119 yards and a pick. And Chase Daniel, 11 of 17, 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Sunday, the Raiders over the Vikings, 26-20. Nate Mullins, 7 of 9, 94 yards and a touchdown. Jared Stidham, 10 of 15, 68 yards. And for Mini, Sean Monahan, 8 of 12, 79 yards. Kellen Mond, 9 of 14, 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. All right, now move on to Major League Soccer. We'll go over the results from the weekend. I do not think there are games in soccer today. We have one tomorrow. All right, Saturday. Orlando over the Red Bulls, 1-0. Atlanta, Cincinnati, 2-2 draw. New England over DC United, 1-0. Philadelphia Union over the Chicago Fire, 4-1. Philly's been playing out of their minds. They've been really good lately. Toronto over Portland, 3-1. Miami over NYCFC, 3-2. Austin over Kansas City, 4-3. Colorado, Columbus, 1-1 draw. Dallas over San Jose, 4-1. CF Montreal over Houston, 3-2. LA Galaxy over Vancouver, 5-2. And LAFC over Charlotte, 5-0. And Sunday, Minnesota over Nashville, 2-1. And Salt Lake over Seattle, 2-1. All right, so our next game in soccer is on Tuesday. Then we have a couple on Wednesday. One on Friday. A smaller than usual Saturday. And a larger than usual Sunday. So, a lot of soccer this week on the show, but just no games tonight, unfortunately. The WNBA wrapped up its regular season over the weekend. We'll go over those results, and we'll look at the playoffs in terms of seeding. Mystics over the Fever, 82-70. Liberty over the Dream, 80-70. Storm over the Wings, 96-69. And the Mercury over the Wings, 86-74. And then Sunday, Sun over the Lakes, 90-83. Liberty over the Dream, 87-83. Mystics over the Fever, 95-83. Aces over the Storm, 109-100. Sky over the Mercury, 82-67. And the Wings over the Sparks, 116-88. So, the playoffs. So, getting the 1 seed was Las Vegas at 26-10. Chicago's your 2 seed, also at 26-10. Your 3 seed's Connecticut at 25-11. Your 4 seed, the Seattle Storm, 22-14. Last hurrah for Sue Bird. Your 5 seed, also at 22-14, is the Washington Mystics. Your 6 seed is the Dallas Wings at 18-18. The 7 seed is the New York Liberty at 16-20, and the 8 seed is the Phoenix Mercury at 15-21. So the lotteries: Minnesota, Atlanta, LA, and Indiana. Sylvia Foles had her last game yesterday. Oh, she's retiring. That's unfortunate for the league as they lose an icon in Foles. And then Sue Bird's career lives another day. All right, Little League World Series. We'll go over the finals of the regions that ended on Friday. Metro Region Final. New York over New Jersey 4-0 as New York heads to Williamsport from Massapequa. Mid-Atlantic Region. Pennsylvania over Delaware 7-3. So, Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania to the Little League World Series. The Midwest Region. Iowa over Missouri 4-3 as Davenport, Iowa heads to the Little League World Series. The Mountain Region. Utah over Nevada 7-3 as Santa Clara, Utah goes to Williamsport. The West Tournament. Hawaii over Arizona 9-2 as Honolulu, Hawaii goes to Williamsport. And the Canada region, BC over Prairies 9-4 as Vancouver heads to Williamsport. So, Little League World Series will get underway, I believe, the 17th from Williamsport. Yes, the 17th is when it all will begin. So, It should be a lot of fun. So that would mean Wednesday's podcast we'll start previewing and picking games. So maybe on tomorrow's podcast I'll do some in-depth with the Little League World Series because we won't have that much to do. All right, golf. We'll go over the results from the St. Jude Championship. Your winner with a score of 15 under and a playoff score of 12, Will Zalatoris. Coming in second with a score of 15 under with a playoff score of 13. Sepp Straka. Tied for third with 12 under, Lucas Glover and Brian Harmon. Tied for fifth with 11 under. Trey Mullinax, Matt Fitzpatrick, Tony Finau, Adam Putnam, Adam Scott, Colin Morikawa, and John Rahm. 12th place with 10 under, Sanjay M. Tied for ninth with 9 under, Cam Davis, Joaquin Neiman, Justin Thomas, Cam Smith, Lucas Hodges, Sahith Thiglia, and Joo Hyung Kim. Tied for 20th with 8 under, JT Potson, Victor Hovland, Sam Burns, Ryan Palmer, Dylan McCarthy, Kyan Guli, Kevin Kisner, and Dylan Fratelli. Tied for 31st with 6 under, Taylor Moore, Tyrell Hatton, Cameron Young, Maverick McNeely, Aaron Weiss, Michael Thompson, Emiliano Grillo, Davis Riley, Keith Mitchell, Adam Schenk, and Tyler Duncan. Tied for 42nd with 5 under, Saiwoo Kim, Max Homa, JJ Spawn, and Mito Pereira. Tied for 46th with 4 under, Mackenzie Hughes, Sebastian Munoz, David Lipsky, Shane Lowry, and Stefan Yeager. Tied for 51st with 3 under, Gary Woodland, Chester V, Sam Ryder, Robert Streb, Aaron Ray, and Adam Svensson. Tied for 57th with 2 under, B.U. Hostler, Martin Laird, Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantlay. Tied for 61st with 1 under, Grayson Sieg, Hayden Buckley, and James Hahn. Tied for 64th with 1 over, Mark Leishman, Ricky Fowler, and Christian Ziedenhout. 67th with 2 over, Brendan Todd. 68th with 3 over, Taylor Pendrith. 69th with 9 over, Adam Hadwin. And among those cut, Matthew Neesmith, Kurt Katayama, Ryan Henley, Keegan Bradley, Scotty Scheffler, Jason Day, Taylor Hogue, Brett Horschel, Rory McIlroy, Patton Kazir, Anirban Lahiri, Alex Smalley, Jonathan Vegas, Russell Knox, Scott Stallings, Luke List, Chasen Hadley, Max McGreevy, Nate Watney, Doug Gim, Nate Taylor, Kevin Strillman, Patrick Rogers, Brendan Steele, Kramer Hickok, Matthias Schwab, Peter Malnati, Joel Dahman, Matt Kuchar, Brandon Wu, Lucas Herbert, Callum Tarrant, Cam Triangle, Webb Simpson, Chad Rainey, Harold Varner III, Chris Kirk, my pick of Jordan Spieth, Seamus Power, Mark Hubbard, Cheng Sun Pong, Danny Lee, Kevin Tway, Adam Long, Vincent Whaley, Justin Rose, Stuart Sink. And among those that withdrew, Alex Duran, Scott Piercy, and John Ha. All right, next weekend is the BMW Championship from Wilmington Country Club in Delaware. We'll preview and pick that tournament on Wednesday's podcast. Now I'll move on to NASCAR. We'll go over the results from Richmond Saturday night. Your winner, Chandler Smith, coming in second. John Hunter Nemechek, third. Ty Majeski, fourth. Grant Effinger, fifth. Corey Heim, sixth. Tanner Gray, seventh. Matt Crafton, eighth. Chris Next, ninth. Zane Smith, 10th. Carson Hosfar. The rest: Stuart Friesman, Derek Krause, Tyler Ankrum, Chase Purdy, Brett Holmes, Tanner Gray, Matt DiBenedetto, Ben Rhodes, Lane Riggs, Jake Garcia, Caden Honeycutt, Kaz Gralla, Jack Wood, Lawless Allen, Raja Karuth, Haley Deegan, Austin Wayne South, Colby Howard, Joey Gase, Chad Chaston, Timmy Hill, Spencer Boyd, Mason Maggio, Blaine Perkins, Dean Thompson, and Nick Leitz. And the Cup race from Richmond yesterday, your winner, Red Hot Kevin Harvick, who wins for the second week in a row. Second, Chris Bell. Third, Chris Boucher. Fourth, Denny Hamlin. Fifth, Chase Elliott. Sixth, Joey Logano. Seventh, Martin Truex Jr. Eighth, Eric Almirola. Ninth, Kyle Busch. 10th, Ryan Blaney. The rest, William Byron, Austin Cindric, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon, Ty Dillon, Ross Chasen, Daniel Suarez, Alec Bowman, Justin Haley, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chase Briscoe, Noah Gragson, Harrison Burton, Cole Custer, Todd Gilliland, Corey LaJoie, Mike McDowell, Landon Castle, Tyler Riddick, J.J. Yeley, B.J. McLeod, Cody Ware, Eric Jones, Ty Gibbs. All right. Next weekend is Watkins Glen for the Cup and Xfinity. No truck race until September 9th. So we have about a month without the truck series. All right, now I'll move on to the news and notes for today. We have a lot to talk about, but the biggest story from the weekend, in my opinion, Fernando Tatis Jr. suspended for 80 games for violating Major League Baseball's performance-enhancing drug policy. That is absolutely brutal for the Padres. They were so excited for him to come back. He was doing rehab games and then gets dinged for PEDs. That is just brutal for them. I think that kind of kills their chance to potentially knock off the Dodgers in the postseason and win the World Series. But if you're the Padres, do you regret giving up C.J. Abrams? No. Still no. You still do that trade for Juan Soto. And they're lucky they traded for him because he pretty much comes in and replaces that Tatis spot in a way for this season, and then next season they're better and will be among the favorites to win the whole thing next year. Tatis says he inadvertently took a medication that contained clostebol and will serve the suspension immediately, which is sad, as I just talked about. And then Tatis's mom posts on Instagram a picture backing up Tatis, who said he used banned substance for treating ringworm. And then AJ Preller calls out Tatis and says his maturity as a pattern we've got to dig a little bit more into after the suspension. And then Machado and Soto shared their reactions, and then manager Bob Melvin said that Tatis is remorseful, as he told reporters that he reached out to Tatis. So, yeah, huge story. Too bad for the Padres. It's just very unfortunate. And a really nice story. Winton Bernard, a 31-year-old, got called up by the Rockies and had his first major league hit with his family in attendance after his emotional call-up. So that you love to see those stories. And then Bernard said, praying every night that something good would happen. And then there's a video out of him calling his mom to tell her the news. The Nationals called up C.J. Abrams. So that is pretty cool. Is that he will start playing with the Nats in their next series. Drew Rasmussen was a couple outs away from a perfect game. So close. But unfortunately, that the perfect game bid came to an end in the top of the 9th inning. On a double by Jorge Mateo. So, 2 outs away from history. Not meant to be. Emotional moment in Houston from a young girl from Uvalde asks Alex Bregman to hit a home run on Uvalde Strong Day, and he came up for her. You love to see that. Yankees injury news. DJ LeMahieu is battling a foot injury, as Aaron Boone says that he'll have imaging done on his foot and toe. Matt Carpenter could return this season. Luis Severino on track to make multiple September starts. That is wonderful news for the Yankees. And Giancarlo Stanton had a full day of baseball activities planned for Friday. Still no return timetable. I think there's a chance he's back this week. And obviously, Aaron Judge ties Babe Ruth on Friday with 46 homers, 213 games. Ties Babe for second all-time behind Barry Bonds' 48 in 2001. Tariq Skubal out for the season, goes to the 60-day injured list due to an elbow injury, and will visit a specialist on Monday. That is just brutal news for the Tigers. Michael Brantley out for the year with season-ending surgery on his right shoulder. That is brutal for Houston. Thank goodness they picked up Trey Mancini. And now move on to basketball. The full Christmas Day slate is out. Shams tweeted it. You have 76ers at Knicks, Bucks at Celtics, Grizzlies at Warriors, Lakers at the Mavericks, and Suns at the Nuggets. I would not be shocked if that's the actual order. Although I would flip Grizzlies Warriors into the 8 o'clock window on ABC and put Lakers Mavs at the 5 o'clock spot. Because I think that Mike Breen and company belong with the team that just won the championship in the Warriors. Although Bucks Celtics would not shock me if that's the primetime game. Breen, Van Gundy, and Jackson would not surprise me if they are in Boston. That's probably where they should be on paper, but they probably will be either with LeBron and the Lakers or with the Warriors who just won the title. Although it would not shock me if they break those three up and Mike Breen's at MSG to be with the Knicks. But that's usually Ryan Rucco's game, the Knicks Christmas home game. So no Brooklyn, and rightfully so because we don't know Durant. Miami, I think, got snubbed from Christmas. I think that they're the team that got snubbed. Toronto, I don't think, was ready. There's people saying that Atlanta got snubbed. But Atlanta underachieved last year. They deserve to be punished. The New York Knicks probably don't deserve a Christmas game in terms of how they performed last year. But from a league standpoint, it's tradition, so it's understanding. It's like the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. The Knicks usually get a Christmas home game. Although if they're really, really awful, then they don't get it. But they're not that awful, and there's a chance Donovan Mitchell's on the Knicks, and this is probably what the schedule makers are relying on, them getting Donovan Mitchell and Kevin Durant not being a Brooklyn Net. And the funny thing is that James Harden was the one that tweeted, "Christmas at the Garden," before that game was released. And John Morant was so excited for the Christmas game because the Grizzlies deserve it. And in 2 more schedule leaks, October 18th, Lakers-Warriors opening night as Golden State will receive their title rings. I think it should have been Clippers-Warriors in that spot. That's what I predicted. But the favoritism of the Lakers continues. And Lakers-Clippers from Crypto.com Arena, October 20th. So that's the Thursday night on TNT. So LeBron and AD versus Kawhi and Paul George for the first time potentially since December of 2020. Giannis Antetokounmpo would play for the Bulls as he is open to playing for Chicago in the future, but retreats commitment to Milwaukee, which is interesting. I think he's going to be a Buck for life. And we talked about Sylvia Fowles playing her final game. She got a standing ovation from fans and players as she calls it a career. So congrats to Sylvia Fowles, as we talked about earlier. And football news, we talked about Zach Wilson. He has a meniscus tear in addition to the bone bruise and will undergo arthroscopic surgery as he'll be out 2 to 4 weeks. So there's a possibility of him returning for week 1. That is good news for the Jets. Worst case scenario, he's back like week 3 or week 2. As we talked about earlier, he limped off the field against the Eagles. Lamar sets contract deadline to week 1, similar to Aaron Judge's contract deadline that he self-imposed to himself for the first pitch of the season. So that's very interesting. Darren Waller has a hamstring injury. They've held him out of camp, but the injury is not considered serious. And 49ers running back Elijah Mitchell has a hamstring injury. Unlikely to play in the preseason, but expect to be ready for the season opener against the Chicago Bears. Alrighty, that's it for news and notes. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I think best bet was a winner from Friday night. I just have to make sure it definitely was. I think it was the over in the Orioles-Rays game. It was. And best bet for today, I'm going to go with the over 8.5 between the A's and the Rangers. I thought about the over in the D-backs-Giants game, but I could see a world where the D-backs don't score or the Giants don't score. But James Caprillion and Glenn Otto are not good at pitching. And these two teams always play high-scoring games. I always like touching the AL West overs. I'm going to lay a half unit on over 8.5 between the A's and the Rangers for my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for the show. We'll be back tomorrow recapping tonight's baseball games and looking ahead to everything going on tomorrow. I'll do Little League World Series picks, maybe WNBA playoff stuff as well. We'll see. And then, obviously, news and notes and best bet as well as some primaries. All right, have a great day, everybody.